Hello, it's been a while. This is gonna be a bit of a recap video, catch up. It's like day 89 through 102. I'll title this one From the Depths of Hell, because that's kind of where it feels like I came back from. I just rewatched the last video to know like where I left off, and like basically I had like wasted an entire like Thursday. I didn't like get any work done. I was behind on physics lectures, a bit behind on chemistry, and like I had a lot of assignments to do. And honestly, I don't remember. It's like been 2 weeks ago. I don't remember why I didn't record the video for like Friday, but from then on, it's just kind of been work nonstop. Work, studying, just like it was final season basically. So like I really had to put in the hours. The university isn't easy. So I think Friday, I went and me and my older brother went looking for skis. Actually, I will be going skiing after my finals end. So, yeah, we went to like a couple ski stores and basically like bought me a bunch of ski gear. Like, I'm actually really happy with everything that we got. Got some like really nice like Atomic Bent 85 skis, then like Salomon like 100 M Pro 100 boots, like and like good like jackets and snow pants and everything. So like honestly like top of the line gear. We got like a pretty nice discount on it too, so that was really nice. So yeah, I'm fully equipped to go skiing. I'm looking forward to that. That'll be coming later in 2 weeks. 1 week. 1 week, wow. I'll be skiing in a week. Woo. But yeah, so I think that's why I was mostly unable to record Friday, because like I had a lot to do. Plus I had like assignments to finish up too. I had to catch up to physics, like because I still didn't understand it very well, because the entire oscillations unit was whack. And I do think I mentioned it in the videos. I honestly should have rewatched the past like 3 videos I made before I recorded this, but the videos I was watching online weren't exactly coinciding with the lecture notes themselves. So I had to go through and actually like relook at the lecture notes and lecture slides and like read through those and like try to understand those without a lecturer basically, which was a bit tougher than anticipated. But yeah, so I really just had a lot of studying to do. Then like also I had to finish the third like project with my group in AppSci. And basically like the final portion of the project, like the biggest portion in the grade, was a written technical memorandum. And I just wrote the entire technical memo like that same Friday night. Basically that was it. We did end up having a call on Sunday. There were still some parts that the group had to do because it was like based off their designs, and we did clean it up a bit and change like from a passive to an active voice, like in the essay itself, but it was all the same content. Basically I did the entire like third project for my group, so that was great. I was really annoyed at them, but whatever. Honestly, like done with this semester with this group. Hopefully next semester is better. Yeah, then after that I had like a week of just classes and whatever. I really like everything has been a blur, like an absolute blur. It's been pretty crazy. But yeah, finally it was time and like to start studying for my physics final, like my first final exam. It started okay. I gave myself like good 3 days to study, and I did really good, honestly, like in terms of studying, in terms of time management. The entire last third of the course, like oscillations and waves and like constructive destructive interference, whatnot, and like light interference, double slit interference, all that. It was really confusing. And to be honest, when I started working on the practice problems, I was getting all of them wrong. Like I was really lost, to be honest, and it did make me worried, because I knew that, like, this final exam would have a bit more focus on the last third of the course, which hasn't been tested yet. So it pretty stressed out, but I just put in the hours. Like I grinded a lot. I like went through all the problems, and I'm like, why the hell did we do this? And like I did my best to understand it, and well, I did understand it, and the final went by, and I think it went great. I don't know what I got. I'll probably find out in a couple weeks or so, but I walked out of that exam feeling very confident. Like there was not a single question I couldn't do. So the only points I could lose are like maybe if I missed like something in the details of the question, like if it had like a double negative, for example, and I just read as a one negative, right? Like I could have misread something like that, or if I just made like a simple calculation mistake. But I think I did really well on that test. And then like 2 days later, after the physics final, I had my chemistry final as well. And that was really scary because first of all, the chemistry midterm went by pretty terribly. So while I was studying for physics, I was also trying to balance it, and I was also studying for chemistry a bit. So I had reviewed the entire like first half of chemistry before I took the physics final. So now after physics final, I have the entire second half of chemistry to review, and I have like 2 days to do it. 2.5. So I was like, well, okay, like this is doable. But basically, the day of like the physics final, I was so burnt out on studying. I just like couldn't force myself to do anything. Like I had like 8-9 hours to study, and within those like 9 hours, I got like 2 hours of studying done tops. Like I don't know, like ADHD was just going crazy. I was just like, I was doing anything but studying. It was really bad. And at that point I started getting stressed out because I'm like, crap, like I don't understand the second half of this course well enough to do like well on an exam, and I can't like force myself to study. So like next day I woke up, I'm like, come on, like I gotta do better now. And still the first half of the day, I couldn't study. Like I'm stressed out by now, so I should be able to study, right? Like stress like makes you work better. And still I just couldn't focus. But then finally, like basically around 24 hours before the exam, like finally like it kicked in, the studying, and like I actually like started studying. I'm saying like a lot, but I finally started working and understanding and like getting questions wrong, going through it, understanding, like building and building and building. Like my chemistry knowledge within the 24 hours before the exam went from like a 20 to like a 90. And yeah, and I went and I took the chemistry like final. The morning before the final, I was actually still studying and still wrapping things up and still getting questions wrong. But finally, like it all came together like very last moment, to be honest. I am very much so to blame. It definitely has to do with like a lack of discipline, and I wasn't able to force myself to study well enough. Something I should look into, but finally everything clicked very much so last minute, with like an hour before the exam. Like it happened and like, okay, I just like retired, did a bit of like a mental break, and then like went to my chemistry final. Actually, I did record this clip of how I felt before the chemistry final, so here goes. I'm about to go take my chem final pretty soon. My state of mind isn't the best, not gonna lie, and I didn't prepare as well as I could have or should have. We'll just see how this goes. I did a poor job of preparing. I'm to blame, so we'll see what happens. State of mind is not good though. And yeah, I like, even though everything clicked last moment, I still was very unsure. Like now, having gone through the exam, I can tell you everything did click last moment. But in that hour before the exam, I did not feel good at all. But finally showed up to the testing center. The center was massive. Basically all the engineers were testing in one room at once. I've never seen that happen before. There was all like 900 something of us. It was a lot of people. And yeah, 2.5 hours, and it was like a lot of questions, but it went by pretty well. I don't know what I got. I probably won't know for a while. If I had to guess, I'd say around an 80. I think that's the extent of my abilities. Like there's some questions I got wrong because I was being stupid. Then some questions I got wrong just because I didn't study well enough, and that's like me to blame. But yeah, we'll see. The very final question of the exam was the same exact question that we had. That was the final question of our midterm. I don't know if you guys remember, but like when I spoke about it, I said like the final question of the midterm was like borderline impossible to understand, like to solve. Like basically everybody got it wrong, and it was really, really hard. So when I was reviewing for the chem midterm, when I was reviewing for the chem final, I reviewed the chem midterm. I'm like, okay, let me look at this. Let me try to understand it. And I looked at that question like twice, and I still couldn't understand it. It was just straight up that difficult. But finally, like I just like stared at it, and like things slowly started clicking. Like I finally understood the root of the problem and like how you go about it. And that's why when it appeared again in the exam, I'm like, oh, like I've stared at this problem for like hours. I know how to do this, and I just like flew through it. It was the exact same values, like literally the exact same question, copy and pasted. It was great. So yeah, that was that. The camp final went really well, a lot better than the midterm went. Hopefully I got an 80. Like, I'll be pretty sad if I don't, because I have an 82, 83-ish in the class right now. And if I get an 80, I'll be able to keep an 80 in the class, which will constitute to an A, which is, well, what I'm going for. So hopefully, we'll see. But yeah, that's that. And yeah, that was yesterday actually. So like now I'm here. I'm a lot more free now. I have a week until my next final, and the next final is AppSci, which I'm like, I don't care that much about. I will study for it, but I'm a lot more free now. I'm doing a lot better mentally than I was in these like 2 weeks of like studying and like gathering everything all at once. It felt really crazy. Like when I'd be studying, there'd be so many concepts floating around everywhere, and you literally just have to grab all of them and like build something out of it. And it was pretty stressful. It was a lot more intense than like any high school final ever too. And I'm not sure why that is, but yeah, it was quite difficult. But made it through. Mostly have one more final, which like problem for later. And yeah, now I have time to record these videos again. I have missed this actually. A couple other things happened during these like 14 days, 2 weeks. Me and my older brother installed a video game called Lethal Company. It's a horror game. It's actually pretty fun. It's really, really challenging, but we've been playing a bit. If I need like a study break at the end of the night, I'll like play a bit. A lot of fun. It's quite really, really challenging. I'll hopefully record a video soon and like upload us playing, because it's a fun game. And yeah, also, I don't know if I should be saying this or not, but I've been talking to a girl recently. She's really cool. I won't like say too much, but hopefully things work out with her. She's also in engineering, so we always have something to fall back on and like complain to each other about. So yeah, she's great. I haven't come up with a fake name for her yet. That's the thing for later. But yeah, life's been good. Like life is really good right now. So yeah, I made it, came back from the depths of hell, and here I am, ready to record more videos. So thank you, and that'll be it. Bye bye.